Good morning, students. So, today we'll take up the topic of rule of law. When we talk about the principle of rule of law, we say that it is the basic principle of the English Constitution. It is a doctrine which is accepted under the Constitution of USA and also in the Constitution of India. When we talk about the Indian legal system, we say that the entire basis of administrative law is the doctrine of rule of law. Rule of law is the supreme manifestation of human civilization and culture and is a new lingua franca of global moral thoughts. It is an internal value of constitutionalism and an inherent attribute of democracy and good governance. The term rule of law has been derived from the word, which is a French term, le principle de légalité. That means the principle of legality, which refers to a government based on principle of law and not of men. In this sense, the concept of le principle de légalité was opposed to arbitrary power. It is a concept that has been given by Sir Edward Coke. Sir Edward Coke was the Chief Justice in James I. Ream and is considered to be the originator of the principle of rule of law. As per the concept given by Sir Edward Coke, in a battle against the king, he maintained successfully that the king should be under God and the law, and he established the supremacy of law against the executive. The concept of rule of law was further developed by Dicey. This theory in his classic work, The Law and the Constitution, which was published in the year 1885. In India, the concept of rule of law can be traced back to Upanishads. It provides law is the king of kings. It is more powerful and rigid than they, that is, the kings. There is nothing higher than law. By its power, the weak shall prevail over the strong, and justice shall triumph. Thus, when we talk about the situation of monarchy, the concept of law developed to control the exercise of arbitrary power of the monarchs who claimed divine power to rule. Whereas in democracy, the concept has assumed different dimensions and means that the holder of public powers must be able to justify publicly that the exercise of power is legally valid and socially just. As already mentioned, A.V. Dicey developed the concept as given by Sir Edward Coke relating to the principle of rule of law. Sir A.V. Dicey was an individualistic who wrote about the concept of rule of law at the end of the golden Victorian era of laissez-faire in England. That was the reason why Dicey's concept of rule of law contemplated the absence of white power in the hands of government officials. According to him, wherever there is discretion, there is a room for arbitrariness. The rule of law is a viable and dynamic concept, and like many other such concepts, is not capable of any exact definitions. This, however, does not mean that there is no agreement on the basic values which it represents. The term rule of law is used in distinction to rule of man and rule according to law. It is the concept of rule according to law that reflects the principle of rule of law. Hence, we can say that rule of law means that the law rules, which is based on the principle of freedom, equality, non-discrimination, fraternity, accountability, and non-arbitrariness, and is certain, regular, and predictable, using the word law in the sense of jus and lex both. Thus, it is said that the society where the governance is done according to law. So, there are certain rules that are framed according to law and not the rule of man that exists in a given society. In order to understand the principle of rule of law, it is important to focus on the concept as given by Sir A.V. Dicey. According to Dicey, the rule of law is one of the fundamental principles of the English legal system. He attributed the following three main meanings to the said doctrine. First, supremacy of law. Second, equality before law. And third, predominance of legal spirit. Talking about supremacy of law, he explained that the rule of law means the absolute supremacy or predominance of regular law as opposed to the influence of arbitrary power or wide discretionary power. It excludes the existence of arbitrariness, of prerogative, or even wide discretionary power on the part of the government. According to him, the Englishmen were ruled by the law, and law alone. A man may be punished for a breach of law, but can be punished for nothing else. In his words, whenever there is discretion, there is room for arbitrariness, and that in a republic no less than under a monarchy, discretionary authority on the part of the government must mean insecurity for legal freedom on the part of its subject. As per Dicey, according to this doctrine, no man can be arrested, punished, or be lawfully made to suffer in body or goods except by due process of law, and for a breach of law established in the ordinary legal manner before the ordinary court of land. Dicey thus described this principle as the central and the most characteristic feature of common law. The next point that Dicey explained is equality before law. Dicey stated that there must be equality before the law, or the equal subjection of all classes to the ordinary law of the land administered by the ordinary law courts. According to him, in England, all persons were subject to one and the same law, and there were no separate tribunals or special courts for officers of government and other authorities. However, this provision was criticized in the French legal system that talked about droit administrative, in which there were distinct administrative tribunals for deciding cases between the officials of the state and citizens. According to him, exemption of the civil servants from the jurisdiction of ordinary court of law and providing them with the special tribunal was a negation of equality, and thus Dicey has rejected the concept of droit administrative. The third principle of Dicey was predominance of legal spirit. Here, Dicey has concentrated on judge-made constitution. He stated that in many countries, the rights such as personal liberty, freedom of arrest, freedom to hold public meetings are guaranteed under written constitution, whereas the situation is not same in England, as there is no written constitution. In England, these rights are the result of judicial decisions in concrete cases, which have actually arisen between the parties. Thus, Dicey emphasized the role of the court as guarantors of liberty and suggested that the rights would be secured and more adequately if they were enforceable in the court of law than by mere declaration of those rights in a document. As in the latter case, they can be ignored, curtailed, or trampled upon. He stated the law of constitution, the rules which in foreign countries naturally form part of constitutional code are not the source but the consequence of the rights of individuals as defined and enforced by the courts, thus supporting the concept of judge-made constitution. When we talk about the principle of rule of law as given by Dicey, there are certain merits and demerits of this principle as given by Dicey. To state the merits of the principle of rule of law as given by Dicey, the doctrine of rule of law has provided to be an effective and powerful weapon in keeping administrative authorities within their limits. It served as a touchstone to test all administrative action. To say the broad principle of rule of law was accepted by almost all legal systems as a constitutional safeguard. The first principle, that is, the supremacy of law, has recognized a cardinal rule of democracy, that every government must be subject to law and not law subject to government. It rightfully opposed arbitrary and unfettered discretion to government authorities, which had tendency to interfere with the rights of the citizens. The second principle has sustained the most important principle that is wedded in the democratic polity, that a maxim that means however high you may be, law is above you, and to say all are equal before the law. The third principle is the one that has emphasized on the role of judiciary in enforcing the rights of the citizens, irrespective of their inclusion in the written constitution. Here it is also important to focus on the pitfalls or demerits of the principle. The first rule was criticized on the basis that the Dicey failed to distinguish between arbitrary power and discretionary power. It has been criticized that Dicey equated supremacy of rule of law with absence of not only arbitrary power but even of discretionary power. According to him, wherever there is discretion, there is room for arbitrariness. But when we talk about a legal system, existence of discretionary power is an important factor, as wherever law ends, the discretion begins, and discretion is important to impart justice and correct decisions. Thus, he failed to distinguish between arbitrary power and discretionary power, where arbitrary power are the negative aspect, but discretionary power, being the positive aspect, need to be taken into consideration in order to ensure that there is proper governance. The second principle was criticized on the ground that Dicey misunderstood the real nature of Droit administrative. It was misunderstood on the ground that Dicey considered the concept to be conferring special powers, special rights, and privileges on the government officials as against the private citizens, whereas it was not so. The French system, in many respects, proved to be more effective in controlling abuse of administrative powers than the common law system. And the system of Droit administrative was only for the purpose of providing and upholding the integrity and dignity of administrative officials in a state. The action of administration were not immune from judicial scrutiny, and the courts of Droit administrative were very much like a court. Thus, the concept of Dicey was criticized on this part that he failed to understand the correct meaning of Droit administrative. There are many cases wherein we can say that the rule of law has been upheld. But before that, it is important to mention that all rules, regulations, ordinances, customs are laws within the meaning of Article 13 of the Constitution. It is from Article 13 that we say that the rule of law exists in a legal system, as Article 13 provides that no law will be framed as against the Part 3 of the Constitution. Further, the preamble itself has laid down ideal of justice, liberty, and equality. Part 3 of the Constitution also enshrine fundamental rights and are enforceable. The Constitution is supreme, and all the three organs, legislative, executive, judiciary, are subordinate to and have to act in consonance with the Constitution. In the next part of discussion of the principle of rule of law, we shall discuss the cases that have been taken up by the Indian judiciary, wherein the rule of law has been upheld by the court. Thus, when we talk about rule of law, we see preamble, constitution. Our constitution itself lays down various aspects in the form of preamble, Article 13, that states that the rule is above all, law is above all, and even the government authorities cannot infringe the provisions that are laid down under the constitution. And thus, it is the constitution that upheld the principle of rule of law. In next class, we shall take up the cases that are relevant for the topic. Thank you.